Family, how y'all doing out there? May I call you family? Today, we are talking about another episode of The Last of Us. Episode 3, to be more specific. And this episode was pretty damn good. It was a little bit of a break from the norm. And I really like how they set the main story aside for this and went into a side story that no one really knows about, and yet you don't deviate from the original story in a way so that you upset people. So I think this was a great move by the show writers. People get to see something new, and the story stays intact. So win-win for everybody. I'm getting ahead of myself. There will be spoilers for this episode. If you have not seen it, please go watch it, come back, and let's talk about it. So this episode starts off with Ellie and Joel traipsing through the woods. They're on their trip. They are trying to find their way to the Fireflies. Joel is basically telling Ellie there's no need to apologize, and Ellie lets him have it. She was like, I didn't ask you to bring me on this trip, okay? You volunteered because you wanted a car battery. So, hey. In doing so, they come across some bones, and Ellie sees that the people who are dead were not infected, and Joel is basically telling her that's how scared people were. I mean, they were taking out people who were not infected in order to keep people safe, which sounds stupid, but you never know what people do when they get scared. This story centers around the life of Bill, who is in The Last of Us. And they just kind of embellish on his story, showing what it is he went through, and how he was, a survivalist at the time, and those instincts kind of came in to help him as the military came in and moved everyone out of the neighborhood. He was the last one there, so he had full reign of that entire neighborhood, supplies, everything that was there. He had control over. And then one day, a gentleman by the name of Frank comes along, and Bill doesn't know what to make of this. At first, he's worried that this is some sort of setup. He's kind of looking around. He's kind of worried, like, who are you with? But turns out that it was just some guy, and he seemed to come along at the right time because Bill needed somebody and Frank needed somebody, and there's a romance brewing. Years go by, Frank and Bill stay together, and it is kind of like a match made in heaven as Bill gets to be who he wants to be without fear of retribution from the societal norms that have existed. Frank is kind of walking him through all of that, like introducing him to things that he has never seen or felt before. So I really bought this story. I thought that they were fantastic together. Really liked seeing the development of their life. You see how they start to kind of fall in love, and then there's like a flash forward of like 4 years where they're kind of Frank is kind of telling Bill how things are going to be, like how he wants to open a boutique and have friends over and all this other stuff. And Frank, just being kind of a hard-nosed guy that he is, he's like, what are you talking about? Like, there ain't nobody, we're not having friends. So there's kind of that, they're kind of each yin to each other's yang, and I've enjoyed watching their story. That's basically the show in a nutshell. What I enjoyed about this is I think that it was a fresh take on this entire series, to show people that it's not so much about the zombies or the people who are infected as it is about trying to maintain relationships and trying to keep your sanity and your humanity by doing the things that make us who we are. So I love this episode per that aspect. You start to towards the end of the episode, you kind of see Joel and Ellie kind of find some common ground. They start to come together over music, and how Ellie has never been in a car before. Which how have you never, at least, like, there are plenty out there. You mean to tell me at no point did you ever just sit in one? Ever? This episode was really touching. To see Bill go through what he had to go through when he knew that his partner wanted to die, because he didn't want to go through the pain and suffering of having to live with his debilitating disease for what was left of his life, and to watch Bill suffer to have to take care of him. I thought that was, pretty selfless. You can see the love between the two. Like, he just didn't want Bill to suffer for the rest of his life. And Bill, who in turn loves Frank, did not want to live another day without what he deemed his purpose. I think, in my humble opinion, if you can introduce us to a character or characters in a story, and you can make me feel for those characters and want them to survive and care about their well-being in 45 minutes, then you have written a damn good story. So I think this was fantastic. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I love this. I can't wait for the next episode. Let me know what you thought of this episode and what you're looking forward to. Don't forget to like if you enjoy the content, and I will see y'all for the next episode. I think I'm going to watch Megan, so we'll see how that turns out. All right. Chill.